Well, hi everybody. I'm Phoenix Rising Star, and welcome to Launch Your Life, where we help you to align with your inner guidance, always be in demand, and to finally create that lucrative lifestyle you've been craving to create. Our guest today is Joyce Lely, who is a Renaissance woman. She helps you to experience your creativity and grow your dream. So, welcome, Joyce.
Oh, thank you for having me, Phoenix. It's wonderful to work with you again. We met before, and I love to say hello to everybody that is tuning in because I know how much it means to invest time to watch talks like this. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're so right. And I'm so happy you used that word investment, in terms of investing our time and energy, because this is truly what this whole series is all about. And what I love about your topic is that you're approaching things from the standpoint of creativity. So I'm wondering if you could step into, like, how did you become the Renaissance woman, and what has been your inspiration in the programs that you offer?
Wow. Okay, I have always been a creative, and I think a Renaissance woman, Renaissance soul, Renaissance man. Think Leonardo da Vinci. They are usually highly creative people and with a lot of interests,
Yeah.
and with that, and a lot of curiosity, and with that comes the temptation of all the beautiful shiny objects because everything looks interesting and everything looks appealing to try out, at least once. But by doing that, you can become fragmented if you're not careful. So it's an interesting thing. I think it's a lifelong journey, and I believe that everybody is on a lifelong journey. I'm completely a work in progress all the time, and that makes it exciting. It's something that keeps me from getting bored. And I know a lot of other multi-passionate, multi-potentialized Renaissance people, and it seems to be the same for all of them. It's you want to nourish your creativity. You are curious about things and read a lot and try out a lot of things, arty things, creative things. Um, think a lot, and talk about things with others. They're the philosophers of the world as well. It's interesting to talk about certain topics with other people and just find out how other people think about the thing that
Mhm.
keeps your mind busy. So it's a lot of mind work as well as creativity. And I think that is the beauty, how we can combine what goes on in our mind and express that through our creativity in whatever form your creativity comes out of, like music, cooking, gardening, art, any form of arts, dance, name it. Yeah, yeah.
That makes so much sense, and I love how you describe creative people as being just innately curious and always wanting to just find out more. And that's probably both a good thing and maybe a not so good thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that is the thing. It's this balancing act. It's like a seesaw, like when the new thing is there and you like to experience it, it's exciting and that's all positive and the feelings are all positive. But the drawback is that because there are so many other lovely things to try out, then the time becomes an issue. And that's why I started with thank you for investing your time to watch this, because time, we all only have 24 hours a day, you know
Darn.
and we all only have 7 days in a week, and you can continue that way. But I mean, I have managed to implement certain things in my life that seem to stretch time.
Mhm.
It's of course it's not a realistic thing. Like, I haven't added on an extra hour in my day, but I get more things done by stretching my time or filling in little nooks and crannies that normally just happen during the day, to become more productive with the time I have. And that has been a whole journey on its own, just to find that way of yeah of working with the time that you have. and a lot of it has to do with focus, you know.
Yeah,
This nowadays in the world, everything is instant gratification.
it's true.
Instant gratification, and everything comes now, and at, you know, nobody waits for things anymore. No, and with that, nobody really gives space and time to things that they need to adapt or adopt into their life, like habits, new habits. New habits take practice and take time. Any form of creativity, whether it's dancing or painting or writing nicely, even with nice handwriting, for instance, you know, it takes a little bit of time to practice that. But people just don't allow themselves time anymore for simple things like that. It's like, oh, well, it's too hard, you know?
You are so
Procrastination.
right.
Procrastination
Yes.
is done on the things that become hard because there is a quicker and an easier solution because everything is available instantly.
Well,
Yeah.
you are so right. So then, how does your focus program help people to not procrastinate and to utilize their time and
Yeah.
energy and creativity better then?
So, well, it's also something that, of course, I have struggled with.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you know, it wouldn't be an issue probably. But it is like how you need to learn to know yourself and recognize the things that make you stop. Because, as I said, usually procrastination happens on the things that become a little bit harder for us to do. It's
Mhm.
not the things that come easy. You don't procrastinate on those. You just do them, you know.
It's
So
true.
so the thing is to really understand yourself and find and recognize when what the triggers are for you to stop and to start procrastinating, putting things off, and bringing in little habits that will interrupt those reactions. And I've come up with quite a lot of creative tricks. Really, it was really to trick myself, you know. It's and that is another really strange contradiction because I'm a well-thinking person,
Mhm.
so I know that I'm tricking myself, but funny enough, it works, you know. And by sharing this with others, it turns out it does work for them too. It's just hilarious. It's just and that's why it's so much fun, you know. You surprise yourself and then you go, really? But it works. So, you know, and then it's no longer important why it works, you know, why it is
Right.
like that. You just do it. You just do it.
So
And
can you,
then you've got
okay.
another tool, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. So can you give us an example then of like how do you interrupt a trigger?
So I will give you a really bad example. Yeah. No, well, I mean, it worked, you know, but I mean, this is not a really good habit. I used to smoke.
Oh, okay, right.
I used to smoke, and I tried to stop for quite a few times, and I never managed to stick with it. The last time I decided to, and there's another word, I decided that it was really enough, and I had to find a way to stop it because I just didn't like it. I tricked myself in saying, not saying like, you know, I don't know, perhaps people that have similar bad habits can relate. When I used to try and stop before, I used to have this package and have my last cigarette, and then they go like, "Oh, this is my last cigarette," and "Oh, this is the last. Oh, ever again." You know, it's like, "Oh, this is the last one," and then immediately after you crave it. I
Yeah, I
think it's
gotta
the
have
same. Yeah,
one.
it's the same with dieting, and you know, I never had to go that far with dieting, but you know, I had it with smoking. So anyway, the last time that I decided, well, this is really, I need to give this up, I told myself, this is the last cigarette for now.
Ah, nice.
I'm an adult woman. If I want to start again, I can go to the store and buy another pack. I'm old enough to get one. If I have the money, I can pay for it. But for now, I decide not to.
I like that. That,
And
that keeps that scarcity from just becoming
yeah,
urgent.
and you know what the whole reason was for me? I don't like closed doors.
Huh, interesting.
I like to have opportunities open,
Mhm.
possibilities. You know, I like to have many possibilities. And the moment there is a door closed, I have the urge to open it.
Oh gosh, can I relate? And I think every creative person can relate to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's brilliant.
Oh, and I haven't smoked for like more than 20 years. So, you know, it's not even difficult. It's not even difficult. But
No.
it's just that little difference. It's a change in wording, really. It's a
Yes.
change in the thing that you tell yourself, you know.
Yes.
But you need to learn to understand why it is that you cannot stick with something to
Mhm.
begin with.
Yes.
So I needed to learn that I have a hard time with closed doors,
Wow.
you
How did
know.
you figure that out?
Well, that's like internal work.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
that's like a journey. Like you start asking yourself questions. You start giving scenarios, and then
Mhm.
seeing how you react to certain things, and why is that a problem? Why is a closed door a problem for me and not for somebody else? You know,
Mhm.
somebody might sit in a room and have four closed doors and one is open, and it's fine. You know, take a dog for instance. The dog will go through the open door.
That's right. Whatever's easiest.
So why is it for me that if there is one exit in a room and there are four closed doors that I really want to know what's behind those doors? You know? Yeah.
That curiosity of the
Yeah.
creative.
I would be horrible on one of those game shows where they say, which one do you pick?
I can't
Yeah. Well, there
decide.
you go. I can't decide. Well, that's the other thing then, you know,
Right,
it's making a
right.
decision and
Yes.
choosing one thing of many.
Mhm,
That's another tricky thing for multi-passionate people. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. So it's a fun journey to find yourself and then find ways that work for you. So it's
Mhm.
very individual, you know, what
Yes.
works for one. But in the meantime, I have a toolbox full of so many tools and things that we can just draw from. And it's like, does this one not work for you? Then let's see if the other way works for you,
Oh, I
because there
love
are
that.
always ways that work for a person, you know, for anybody.
Mhm.
So if somebody struggles with focusing, then I can say, hey, this is the way I focus, but it might not work for you.
Yeah. No,
It
that
might, but
makes
my
sense.
other tool might work for you, you know, the one that worked a little bit for me but not completely, but that might be just the right one for you, you know. So
Yeah.
that is so from the years of experiencing and trying out and working with the different ways that are possible.
Mhm.
And I think that is just a little bit innate with creatives because we work with so many, you know, with so many nuances. If you're a
Yeah.
painter, you know, there's so many shades of gray between black and white and any color. If you're a musician, there are so many things you can do with a chord and a tune and, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
So, because it's still only so many notes that a musician works with, every
Mhm.
musician, and look at the differences in music that comes out, you know?
Totally, totally.
Yeah,
And artists,
yeah,
painters,
yeah, yeah.
sculptors. So when you do your focus program, then are you working one-on-one with people primarily, or is it a
I
combination?
I do have a lot of one-on-one clients
Mhm.
because we like it that way.
Yes.
But I also do smaller groups. Yeah, there's a self-study program in the making because I also know that a lot of creatives like to do it their own way and love to walk their own. You know, be a little bit of a lone wolf. Yeah. Um, but you know, there are always options there so that you can extend it with some sessions with me. So, you know, so people can also adapt that to how it feels right for them. And I
Yeah.
think that is the whole thing, because being pushed in a box, we don't, you know, I don't know, I don't like, I love boxes, you know, visually, like treasure boxes and things, you know, I love cute boxes, but I don't like to be put in a box in any way. And that is another thing. If a program is only in a certain way, a lot of the parts might appeal, but then one part might not feel right, and then you go, no, no. So by offering it in a few different ways, people
Yeah.
can also take it the way it feels right for them. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And
Mm.
so, like, as people are going through your program, how does this, what have you seen that has helped them? Like, what are some specific examples of how maybe their life has changed or, you know, their
So
dreams are
yeah.
changing?
So usually they come either with problems choosing. I want to bring something into the world. I've got this dream, but then it turns out it's one of five dreams, and then they really cannot. The problem that is there is really that they cannot really choose which one to go for, and they try to do all of them at once, and then it becomes too difficult, and then
Yes.
it just falls to pieces.
Yeah.
So really, it's inner work that starts with which one is your priority, the one that you would put up at number
Mhm.
one, and then
Right.
we'll work on that one first. So there's a lot of clarity. There's a lot of
Mhm.
clarity that comes, and a lot of trust. It's believing in
Mhm.
yourself, because the,
Yeah.
the the thing also is, if if you find it hard to choose between more than one thing,
Mhm.
it is because you're not fully trust the one thing. And
Oh.
then it's like, oh, but I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. So just, yeah, there's a lot of trust. So there's a lot of inner work and self-love and trust and worthiness, and that kind of
Oh,
back work,
yeah.
yeah, work in the background. Yeah.
Excellent.
And so when that trust is there, then it is easier to stand by it, not behind it, not, but stand by it and lead it onto that path into the world. Yeah.
Oh, I
So
love
yeah.
this. So it's a
Yeah.
different, probably amount of time for each individual because everybody's in a different place on their path and adapts
Mm-hmm.
differently, and their dreams are different.
Yeah. Usually we see really great results already after about 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first couple of weeks, 6 weeks can go really fast, and then there's a bit of more implementation. But usually, after I've worked with somebody for 3 months, for instance, they're like, "Wow, I had no idea that so much could change, in how I approach my life, my work, how it all feels. That I feel more confident, because it's that thing, that confidence, that I feel confident with what I have to offer, what I am offering, what I chose, and not having the feeling that the other choices are left behind,
Mhm.
that they are discarded, that they are like no more, never there anymore. Well, there's me with my open doors. They're always, we always
Yes.
find a way that you still have those available as well. But yes, a lot of clarity and a lot of opening of the mind. It is, and the connection to the soul. It's very much out of the box into the heart and the soul. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then expressing from within. Yeah. So
Right.
it's that, and then that. It's actually nice dance. It
I
could be a
would,
nice dance. Yeah.
yes, or a painting. I could see
Yeah.
it being a beautiful painting. Oh my goodness. So this is so fascinating. I just love how you've developed it for creative people in the way that creative people think and operate so that they have the choices that are best for them, because then our personal development is the foundation for our professional development. And it's just a brilliant strategy that you have created here. I'm so excited about this.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
I bet you are.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, and
goodness.
and 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 the more I do this work, the more excited I become,
Yeah.
because I see the results. I see it's like blooms that are tight, when a bud is still really, really tight, and then
Mm,
it just sort of, if you see those slow motion replays of time lapse recordings, how the flower just really, really opens up. It's like
yes.
that. and
Oh,
and and it's like, or even if you look at a seed, that's actually a better example. A seed breaks open and completely destroys itself before it
yeah.
starts to germinate and grow that first sapling. So it's a
Mhm.
lot like that, right? Sometimes we need to break something to
Mhm.
grow. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. So I understand too that you have a free gift that's connected to this.
Yes, yes. So the
Yeah.
free gift is also about the focus, and I share some easy tips, some easy starting points to get a hold on that focus, on that meaning of focus, and why it is important, and how you can make a start in bringing in better habits for focus for yourself. Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
perfect because then that jump starts the whole process just thinking about it.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
will have a link. You will have a link.
Yes,
Yeah.
it should be
There's the
down
link.
below the video. Yep.
Yeah. Cool,
Mhm.
cool, cool. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yes, so I would welcome anybody that feels like they are overwhelmed, because it's often
Mhm.
that feeling of overwhelm, like, oh, there's so much in life I need to do. And because that's the other thing, it's not just being a creative or I'm a creative in business. So for me, it's like that's a little bit, creativity doesn't like business so much, really. We don't like that
Not
part
the
of it.
regimented
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
I mean, I need to do the work in my businessy side as well. Of course, I have an
Right.
accountant and things like that, but there are certain tasks that I need to do that are probably not my priority number one, but because it is a business, it really is important that I do them. So, it's like, you need to find that balance, because we are a personal person, we are our professional person, we have our work or our business, and I think that needs to be in a certain harmony. It doesn't have to be in balance all the time, because that would be boring again. But
Yes.
it's nice to have that in like a nice way, that you can sort of slalom or dance through, a few steps here and a few steps there, and you can make a little rhythm, and it feels right, and it feels just right, and you dance through life like that. So there are ways to make that happen.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm.
Mm, I really like that, and I think that just hearing that helps to take the tension out of, oh my gosh, I've got to perform, or I've got to do better, or I've got to do more, or I'm not doing enough. It's like, no, it's not
No,
about
no, no,
that.
no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, you can always try to do a little bit more than you did yesterday, but the self-talk that a lot of the things that we say to ourselves in our heads are not the things that we would tell anybody, really. You
You're
know?
so right. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, so that's part of the inner work, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it grew out of necessity, really. I mean, I've always been a creative, as I said, but the fact that I needed to do my businessy work and I wanted to combine it, because I no longer wanted to do anything that didn't make me happy, you
Ah,
know.
good
Yeah.
choice.
So, but sometimes necessities and things grow into things that are like really your dream. It opened up the thing, and now I go like, wow, I needed this experience to see how I could bring my dream into my life. Yeah.
Yes,
It's like I
yes.
live in a beautiful place in the world, and I'm doing exactly what I love to do every day.
Whew.
Yeah.
How does it get better
And
than
I'm
that?
my own boss. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
how does it get better than that, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
not so much. Yeah,
I
yeah. And
know.
you do the same thing. You make your
Yeah,
own decisions.
yeah.
When, where, and how, and that is important, I think.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
it's just, for me, it's essential. I could never work for somebody else ever again. I've been doing this for 20, well, not this particularly, but I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. So
yeah,
there is no going back.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think I had so in my professional life. Yeah, that's been quite a few years. How long? 30 years. Yeah, I
See?
think I had two jobs, like, for other people.
Yeah.
I'm a good worker, but I start to think, and then that's not right. I start to think how certain things could go differently,
Oh,
and
yes.
that's not right. It's not, it doesn't feel right. So I better work on my own. And I also come from a whole family of always people that have worked for themselves. So yeah,
Oh,
maybe it's
nice.
inbred as well a little bit. Um, but I do help people that don't have that history. I do help them if they have the wish. Look, if the wish is there, if the dream is there, it's meant to be.
Mhm.
You don't dream things that are not meant to be for you.
That's
Yeah,
so right.
yeah. So
And
if the
so,
desire is there, I'll
yeah.
help you get there. Yeah. Yeah,
And because the world's a small place, it doesn't matter where they are. I mean, you can meet over Zoom, right? I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
so it doesn't matter what country
No,
anybody's in.
no. And
Yeah.
just time zone juggle a little bit sometimes, but
Yeah.
that's all.
That, that's just, minor details.
They're peanuts. They're little
Yes.
peanuts. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I
Oh,
love for that. I love our technology and
oh,
our fast world. But
oh,
for other things, I think to get fast results,
yeah.
sometimes we really need to go slow.
You are so right.
Yeah. Mm.
Wow. Wow, Joyce, thank you so much. This has just been so exciting. And I just know our viewers and listeners are like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need. And they're clicking on the link right now. And so just think how many people you're helping with. Just this
Yes.
discussion alone, let alone, the free gift and taking them further. So
Yeah.
thank you
Yeah.
so
Well, you're
much.
so welcome. You're so welcome. And I thank you again for inviting me. It's
Oh,
it's always lovely to connect. And
oh.
yeah. Yeah.
What a pleasure. And thank you to the listeners today. I know that you're getting a lot out of this and more to come. So thank you, everyone. All
Thank you.
right. Namaste.
Bye.
Bye.